Hi, you guys. Welcome to math this morning. Thanks so much for being here. I know 8:30 can be kind of early, so thanks for getting up and getting here. Please make sure that you have a piece of paper out and something to write with. For today's lesson, we are going to be continuing our unit on exponents, and I'm going to teach you one last property, and we're going to do a little bit of a review of the ones that we've learned so far. And then you're going to spend the rest of the time working on an assignment. Okay, so you're going to have quite a few problems that I want you to try independently. With this exponent unit, there are lots and lots of properties, and it's very easy to get them all confused. Okay, and so we need to just practice some problems and make sure that you know when to apply which properties. And with that said, I am going to go ahead and open up the slides for this lesson. Okay, so remember I told you that I was going to teach you one more rule or one more property. That property is this, okay? It's the zero exponent rule, and I guess it's more of a rule than a property, but this rule says any number or any letter raised to the zero exponent is always 1. And let me show you why that property is, okay? Let's say we have x to the 4th power divided by x to the 4th power. Now, you guys know that x to the 4th power is x times itself 4 times. Okay, so on the top, we would have x to the 4th. On the bottom, we also have x times itself 4 times. And remember, anytime anything is divided by itself, that is always a 1. Okay, so this would be a 1, this would be a 1, this would be a 1, and this would be on a 1. So on the top, we're left with 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which is a 1. On the bottom, we're left with 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, which again is a 1. And 1 divided by 1 is 1. Okay, now if we were to apply our rule, the quotient of powers rule, that rule says that when we're dealing with dividing of two terms that have the same base, we would subtract the exponents. Okay, so x to the 4th minus 4 would be x to the 0. Okay, and notice that x to the 0 is 1. So that's why that rule works. Okay, anytime you're raising something to the 0 power, your answer is always 1. Now, from yesterday's quiz, there are a few things that I want to review with you guys. If you have a number raised to a power, okay, we would call this the base and this the exponent. The exponent tells us how many times we're going to use the base as a factor of itself, okay? This is not 3 times 2, and quite a few of you had that confused on your quiz yesterday. This is 3 to the 2nd power, which means 3 times itself 2 times. So 3 to the 2nd power is 3 times 3. 3 times itself 2 times, which is a 9. Okay, let's say I give you 4 to the 3rd power. 4 to the 3rd power, that would be 4 used as a factor of itself 3 times. This is not 4 times 3. Please do not write 12 here, okay? This is 4 to the 3rd power, which is 4 times 4 times 4, okay? And you may need to use your calculator for this. 4 times 4 is 16. And then 16 times 4 would be 64. Okay, so 4 to the 3rd power is 4 times itself 1, 2, 3 times. So that would be 64. So let's look at another one. let's say I have, well, I'm going to do a smaller number here. Let's say I have 2 to the 4th power. Okay, this is not 8. Do not multiply the base with the exponent. Instead, this is 2 multiplied by itself 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what 2 to the 4th power is. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 8 times 2 is 16. So 2 to the 4th power is 16. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about with you is when you have, let's say we have a 3 multiplied by x to the 3rd, and all of this is raised to the 3rd power. Okay, what that really looks like, 3 times x to the 3rd power raised to the 3rd power would mean this multiplied by itself 3 times. So that's going to look like this. It's going to be 3x to the 3rd times by 3x to the 3rd times by 3x to the 3rd. Okay, and remember with multiplication, we can rearrange the order that we're multiplying. So this is 3 times by x to the 3rd times 3 times by x to the 3rd times 3 times by x to the 3rd. So we can rearrange this. So we put all the 3's together, and we can rearrange this so that we have all of the x thirds together. Now 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And then x to the 3rd times x to the 3rd times x to the 3rd. Remember, when you are multiplying the same base, you add the exponents. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So this would be 27x to the 9th. Okay, now that is if we write everything out. An easier way is to use our property, the power of a power property, and the power of a product property. This actually means that we need to use both here. Okay, so we've got 3 times by x to the 3rd raised to the 3rd power. So the 3 needs to get raised to the 3rd power. That becomes 3 to the 3rd. And x to the 3rd power also needs to get raised to the 3rd power. Now, we just figured out what 3 to the 3rd power is. Remember, 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times itself 3 times. That was 27. And then x to the 3rd power raised to the 3rd is x to the 9th. Okay, and if you need to write out and count to make this work for you, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just apply the properties that we've learned. So now you guys are ready to practice some of these problems, okay? So this is your assignment for today. This is what I want you to work on. So you are going to take out a piece of paper. It's easiest, it'll be easiest if you take your piece of paper and fold it in half. And then you're going to write down this side. That's supposed to be a 2, but my pen doesn't write 2s very well. 3, and then as soon as you get to the bottom, you can go back up to the top and write the rest of them. Okay, that keeps everything nice and organized. Make sure that you circle your answers. And I'm going to pick a few of these to do with you, so it's okay if your assignment is not in order. When you have completed this assignment, you are going to move yourself to breakout room number 2, and you're going to correct it. So in breakout room number 2, I have worked out these problems for you, and you can go through and correct and make sure that you've done this correctly. And if there are any that you have any questions on, you can join me in breakout room number 4 for questions. And in breakout room number 3 is your quiz. Okay, so that might have been a little bit confusing. So let me go over that again. You're going to do this assignment. Then you are going to move to breakout room number 2 to correct your assignment. Breakout room number 3 is your quiz. So if you do your assignment, you correct your assignment, you know how to do everything, you're going to move to breakout room number 3 and take your quiz. If you do your assignment, you correct your assignment, and you're still having some questions about one or more of these, you're going to join me in breakout room number 4, and we will do some more practice problems before your quiz. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, okay? And I'm going to leave it on the assignment page. Remember, you are doing all 20 of these on your own. So you're going to actually write down the problem, do the work, circle your answer, and then you're going to move to breakout room number 2 to correct your assignment. You will be turning in your assignment to me today, and then your quiz questions are just going to be on the bottom of that assignment. Okay, so it'll end up being one sheet, basically. You're going to have to show me one sheet of paper, or I guess it's one assignment, so it may take you more than one sheet. But you're going to do your assignment, you're going to correct it, then you're going to do your quiz on that same assignment, and then you'll turn that into the Dropbox for today. Okay, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and get started, and I may or may not see you today. So if I do not see you, have an awesome day. If I do see you in breakout room, I'll see you then.